My beloved mother, the late former First Lady K. Adro Amin, was brutally murdered on 12th August 1974 at her flat next to Nachivubo Channel near the former Chiseke Market. The people who murdered her are still here today, and we know each other. My mother's housemaid, Martha, was the only eyewitness of the murder. She is also still alive today and saw the four assailants heinously attacking my mother at home. Therefore, I find it quite boisterous for anyone to just go on a public forum and smear my late mother's name and memory, stating that she was some sort of a prostitute. As I have publicly written before, on the fateful day, my late mother called her younger brother, an army officer, stating that there were some strange characters looking as if they were trying to secretly access the building. By the time Captain John Adroa arrived at the premises, there was blood all over the staircase as he climbed up to the flat, but also blood in the living room. But my mother had been taken by the four abduction terrorists. Now, in regards to Dr. Mbalu Mukasa, my late mother's dead body was simply dumped at the entrance of his clinic by the murderers. The doctor only realized who it was the following day after hearing news about the mysterious disappearance of the First Lady and then checking the deceased person in his clinic to see if it was her. He then panicked and tried to pack the body in the boot of his vehicle so as to go and dispose of the body in an obscure location. But then he remembered that his assistant had already reported a deceased person to police, as was the procedure for all private clinics when there was a deceased patient. And the police were coming to pick the body. So in fear of what could happen if he is suspected of killing the First Lady of President Idi Amin, Dr. Mukasa decided to take his own life by poisoning along with his family. Thank God his wife and children were rushed to hospital in time and survived, but not him. I believe his widow is also still alive today. These details of the events at the clinic were narrated to police by the doctor's assistant, who was the one who actually picked my mother's body from the entrance of the clinic. I have written this publicly before, including in an effort to reach the widow of Dr. Mukasa. She has had to live with a double broken heart. First, the death of her husband, then the pain from a completely fake story that her husband was lying to her and secretly being unfaithful to their marriage. A story that was made up by the terrorists so as to blur any trail to themselves. But they forgot Martha, the eyewitness of the murder. These are the same people behind the abduction and disappearance of Chief Justice Ben Chiwanuka, Makerere University Vice Chancellor Frank Kalimuzo, Bank of Uganda Governor Joseph Mubiru, former Minister William Kalema, UN Ambassador Basil Batarengaya, Ginger Mayor Kasigwa, Haji Balunywa, and several other elites who were mysteriously disappeared between 1972 and 1974, never to be seen alive again. I have written extensively about their disappearances and some of the evidence behind it, especially the abduction getaway vehicle, registration number UUU 171 in the Ben Chiwanuka case. The Volkswagen that Yoweri Museveni was found driving in Mbale, eastern Uganda, exactly 4 months after the mysterious abduction and disappearance of the Chief Justice of Uganda in September 1972. Meanwhile, I call on those who want to insist on spreading misinformation about this disturbing event about my mother to have some respect for the late doctor's widow as well, rather than spreading malicious lies against their young marriage and also against her children's memory of the father they remember. As for me, I always pray that Almighty God grant my late mother heavenly peace. She was a devout Christian, something she got from her father, my grandfather, the Archdeacon Reverend Cyrus Adroa of the Church of Uganda, who served God until his last breath in 1998. And we always celebrated all the Christian holidays at home with my mother. She would invite an entire primary school to State House Nakasero for festivities. And my mother and all the other abductees were completely innocent people who never did anything wrong to anyone, but were brutally murdered simply because their killers were suffering from a severe pathological psychosis of hate against my late father, the leader of this country. Thank you.